So if a dance is just the first moment, you know that country is not a primitive country. It's a very cultured, very upmarket, glamorized country. And Sri Lanka is not. Sri Lanka is here. Competing with other companies, we're on top.
Because we have such a rich culture and a rich history to portray to the world, and dance is a form that can connect with everyone as well, because there's
It's
no words involved.
It's a universal language.
And it's speaking about getting into the troupe and becoming a part of the Chandnopalli dance troupe. Is there stiff competition, and do you have certain standards that you have to maintain, and therefore it's difficult for everyone to get in?
It's work. You have to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice a lot. If you sacrifice through the lessons they can come into the troupe. It's the hard work they do.
I see.
You can be in the class for 10 years, but you might not be in the troupe. You can be in the class for 1 year and you can be in the troupe. It's the hours you work. It's not the years. A lot of people make this mistake. I have been in this school for 10 years, coming only on Saturday. But you get some girls coming every day. If you calculate the hours, the one who has come for 3 years or something, the hour load is more. And the way she works is more. You have to live in dance. You can't have it as a second part. It has to be the.
I see.
But whatever, it has to be the thing of yourself. The dance is your life. If movement is your life, then you go with it.
So if movement is your life, then we have the man right here that you should be listening to, and he's been giving us some wonderful insights into this world of dance in Sri Lanka, and it's been great chatting with him. We have one more segment coming up with him as well, so we're going for a very short commercial break right now, but do stay with us here on Good Morning Sri Lanka. All about movement and spirituality, and really knowing about the physical aspect of this dance culture in Sri Lanka, as well as the spiritual aspect here on Good Morning Sri Lanka today. You're here with me, Amaya, and I am here in the studio with someone who is a legend in the field of dance in Sri Lanka. He is Kalasuri Channa Wijewardena. Now, we've been having a long discussion, sir, about all the work that you have done, but there is a special accolade that I have to mention to you, and that is a special award that you won some time back, where Sri Lanka became the winner among 99 other participating countries, which was held in Berlin. So tell us about this particular competition.
Festival of Cultures, which was held in Berlin last year, and well, 107 groups, 99 countries. We had to parade 7 kilometers. Was nothing for us because we are used to Perahera. And we had to perform in front of an audience. We had only 90 minutes. Everyone gets 90 seconds. Everyone gets only 90 seconds. Because there's 107 groups coming. And
so you dance for 7 kilometers and you come in?
To come there.
Okay.
So there was about 1.5 million of people, spectators around. The whole streets were filled with an audience. So we come in dancing, and that 90 seconds was choreographed in such a way that we could get the winner, but become the winner.
There's a story behind this.
Yeah, some countries there was 107, 150, 99, 90, 75, 20. We had only 10. There were 10 dancers. With 10 we did this. There were the judges were French choreographers, American choreographers, designers. Those are the 10 there. I still remember this. There's a Negro girl also. And in the end they just stripped their hats off. They just got off. But they never said we were first at that time. We had to watch the others. What I did there was, it was the flag, the energy of the flag. The flag will only hoist if it's in harmony. That's what I showed. There was the lion, there was his bow leaves, it was Buddhism, then there's the Tamil, the Muslim, and all these ethnic groups, and the whole power of Sri Lanka was shown in this lion. And we had the lion in the dance also. And this 90 seconds did everything. So the concept got marks, because how the criteria was how they markings for the concept. He doesn't look at anything. Markings for skills. There was a guy who turned for he does 3 turns for 1 second. Goes
3 turns per second.
For second. Lal Tilakaratna. 3 seconds. He was there for skills. We want top. Concept we want top. Costumes we want top. And all these different concepts. And all this came into the dance. Then the music was done by Jananath Parakada, our drums. So then again, marking wise, We automatically got all this. They were never given marks of the group, how many group we had, the group of, whether it was 100 or 50 or anything, but they were hip-hop dancers, they were classical dancers, they were India, there was Pakistan, every single, you name it, they were there. Right, and to get there was also difficult. And we did it. The next day they wanted me to come, and I was targeting to come at least into the first 10. So they wanted us to come to the ground, and we just went. No one came. We never thought we were going to get first or something. I just went, and then they started from 5, 4th to the 5th one was given, 4th one. I was just waiting. I was having ice cream or something. I just having that and just watching and clapping and applauding. We were with the dancers, so we knew them. Suddenly number 1, then we lost interest. When number 3 went up, we lost interest. So no way, we never thought. Then when they say Sri Lanka, you won't believe I was just wearing a shirt. I didn't even have a flag. All the other countries had their flags. I didn't even have a flag or anything. Then there's this small boy who had a hat, cricket hat, and he had a small flag with a stick, a chooty one, a paper flag. I only had that. I put the hat on and jumped on the stage and got this massive trophy.
Oh my gosh.
Got us first. But I have to tell you this thing, where the technology plays here. When we went there, I said, guys, we have to practice now, before the parade. And when we went into practice, the guy with the sound, you know Rajitha, no?
Sorry?
Misty Band Rajitha, it was his brother.
Alright.
He said, Chapna, music is not there. He put the music into the laptop, but the music was not there, he said.
Okay.
Then I asked Shamita, my guest, Shamita, CD. So CD ginawa in there, laptop in there. Now you can't go back. Security purpose. Because you could go back, you can't come back. It takes hours to come back. You have to walk because it's a massive area covered in security, all the press.
Millions of people are spectators.
Yeah, all the top heads are there.
Okay.
Then now panic. I didn't know what. Then go for drums, can't, only one drum. You can't do it. You can't give that power with one drum. Then he said, he said, Raj's brother said, don't worry, don't panic, I'm going to go for it. He called a guy who we mixed the track before coming. We got the beat of the heartbeat, 120 beat, BPM. It's called beats per hour. It was 120 beats per, that's the beat of the heartbeat. We pumped that beat, so that's a normal beat, the heartbeat. So we pumped that. So to get the beat pumped and enhanced, I went to the studio the previous night. And we called him, where are you? I'm out. Can you go run to your studio? Okay, give me 5 minutes. Then 2 minutes he went. He said, you email the track. At that very moment he emailed that when the track started, MP3 file came in.
Wow.
Now this is where the technology comes in.
Yes.
So it was and then go. Other you would have gone finished. So in that moment, everyone was like shivering. I was panicked. My God! And coming off a Zoom from Sri Lanka, and it was very difficult to get us. I mean, tickets are costly, and we were everyone who worked hard,
so much preparation,
and all this, and then the track came in, and
and we won.
And we won. Yeah.
So I guess it all
marvelous experience. But this is not the first time we won in Chicago. That we won the Lions, the convention of the Lions again. When Jimmy Carter was there, we won there. We won in Bangkok again. Then we did Denver. We came first in all these. There were different competitions. Wherever we go, comfort. Now we get the honors to bring Sri Lanka the trophy. This is the dance. This is Sri Lankan. That's how important dance is. This is Sri Lankan dance, what I do. But again, how you present it, how you give, it's passing the energy. This is a choreographer's job. You pass the energy. Choreographer is not someone who takes pieces, 1 step from here, the 2nd step from here, the 9th step from here, 10th step from here, putting it together. And so that is not a choreographer's job. Choreographer invents moves and news. So we invented. So then they see something new.
But speaking about movement, how important is movement for an individual?
Live long. If you want to live long, movement. I'll give you an example. You have a car, and your other friend have the same car, but your friend has the car in the garage. He doesn't go about in that. So his diesel, petrol pump gets blocked, that gets blocked, this gets the wheels start doing turning, and then all kinds of injuries or breakdowns in the car. The one who runs will run and run and run. This car will break down in parts and parts and parts, slowly break down. Why? It's not moving. Less movement. The more you move, the more you live. So if you want to live more, you better take up dancing whole life.
Or any type of movement actually. But at what point should you press the accelerator, and at what point should you sort of slowly start taking your foot off the accelerator? When should you start?
You will never take the foot off. Once you accelerate, you'll never take it
Never
off.
take it off.
Because a lot of people only think about the 2D, the 180 movements, forward and back, up and down, forward. They all forget about the 360 movement. In dance, there is 360 movement going around. It's not only here. Now we are doing 2D. It's all,
Back
that's
and
what we are
forth.
doing, back and forward or side and forward. But in dance, you know, it's all 3D. If you think about that, there you are.
So it's all about movement.
It's all
And
about movement.
when you speak about movement from a young age,
Yeah.
now you've worked with a lot of children as well, and you mentioned earlier in the show that 7 years is the usual time that you expect.
6.5, 7 is okay. The reason because if they don't understand what they're doing, they can come, faults can come into themselves. The other thing is, if a child is forced into a class, she comes with the mother wants this girl to dance. You remember? Did you see the film Center Stage? This message is sent straight. If the mother forces the child, because I didn't get this opportunity to dance, so I want my daughter to dance, and he forces the child to dance, she will come into class with hate. And if she comes in the class without liking the class, she's not going to like it. It's going to be in their mind. But if she finds, if she starts like, a lot of girls start like, I think every girl in 5.5, 6, they love to dance. I mean, there's some might traditional art do, they say that. They like the costume. They like to run around in costumes. So if someone doesn't like, you must never force them.
Okay.
You must let the girl start liking it.
And speaking about children who have taken up dance, now your daughter has followed in your footsteps as well, and she's dancing and she's taking the leadership of her own. So tell us, as a father, what has that experience been like for you?
I think I'm very proud. I'm a very proud father. Like the other fathers who have danced, children who dance, I'm also, I get the feeling. And good example, Aseka, she didn't dance in the beginning. I never forced her. It was a mother and father teaching. So it was nothing new
you
for her.
would
So
expect that she
didn't,
would. Oh.
We expected, but she didn't come. She used to always cut the class. Let her cut it. And she found that she started liking it. Then she came in. Then she came with the love of the dance.
So the love of the dance is something that you should go for, never because someone has forced you into it.
Well, if this time I'll give you an example.
Sure,
A lot
go
of
ahead.
parents make this mistake. The child starts to find her body, her balance, and she starts moving. And when she starts moving, she experiments. They experiment. They walk on top of a chair, and the mother shouts, "Don't, you'll fall." I think you should never scold. You should go and help her to find a balance. You scold her, she'll never walk on that. If you say, "Don't walk alone, walk with me." Then you get children who draw paintings on the wall. They draw. They say, "Don't do that. Your father will come and smack you." Don't do so. He'll never paint again. The ability of drawing goes from her. Then you get some children who sing when they're small. They start singing. Don't sing, don't shout. They feel shy and they say, "Daughter, don't sing," and they shout. She will never sing again. I know children who can't hoot. I know big adults who can't hoot. So they never shout, they never open their mouth. The parents are shutting the doors. You must not shut, you must let them go out and explore movement, get the feeling of movement, get the feeling of singing, get the feeling of finding a voice. Like dogs barking. They go on barking, when they find that the sound of the barking sound, they start on going on barking. I mean, when you find something, you start to shout. You see children shouting and going out to color, jumping up and doing certain things. You must let them do those things. Then they find these areas and it's lovely, the experience, but you must never shut these doors. And then when it's shut, they are being forced to go under teacher. We say, good, you should learn under a teacher. Then she only learns what the teacher gives. She has not experienced anything from outside.
How can you sort of encourage a child to experience all of these different aspects of their own self in dance while being taught by somebody else? Does it then depend on the teacher and the teaching style that is employed?
It depends on the teacher you get.
Okay.
A correct teacher will know exactly what side is this child going, which way this one is going. There are some students, I said, dancing is not in your style. You are better as an actress. I don't want to say the name, but there is a very good actress who is a top actress now. He's not into dancing, but she's good in acting. So the teacher will know. Then you can always tell her. There's some who sings very well. So you must give her the chance to sing.
So speaking about the music that you use in your performances and the choreography that you've done, now you mentioned earlier that during one of the breaks that you've actually choreographed about 5,000 different pieces and 5,000 different concepts.